to get started, I've got this spray bottle concoction. Here's the hair that I use. And I got 3 packs. And because I'm doing the goddess type of look, I got this. So that way I could put it in between the hair. Then I got this comb, hair towel, At this point, I finished braiding the back row of my hair, and I have 4 separated sections. And then I added the braiding hair to my hair that was already braided. I left a bit of my hair unbraided at the end so that way I would be able to twist when I got to a certain point. But at first, I did it like you would do a normal box braid and braided my hair as the 3rd piece of hair with the 2 pieces around my hair and braiding it in the normal braiding pattern of just 3. Then at this point, I add a clip so that way I can add the body wave hair to give it that goddess look. I cut these pieces in half and then I put them in so that they wouldn't be as long. And once all of those pieces are clipped together, then I just have to hold the piece that is supposed to be the goddess part of the braid out. At some points I just held it in my mouth. Other times I was able to throw it around my shoulder. It kind of just depended on where the braid was and what angle I had. And so once it was all pinned together, then I was able to braid the pieces together. And here you can see I'm struggling a bit because this is my first time doing it, and this is, I'm pretty sure, my first one. So at this point, I had never done this style at all or tried to do it. I just watched a couple of videos myself, but I already knew how to box braid, so I figured it couldn't be that much harder. I've already known how to twist my hair. So once that piece was in there, other times I used the clip to hold the hair in place while I continued to braid it down. And then once it got to the part where my hair was unbraided, I applied a bit more product to make my hair easier to twist and blend in. Now, obviously my hair is colored, so it's a little bit different to blend in. But I didn't really care about having those pieces of like pink hair stick out. And so you see, once I got to a certain point, I was able to just throw that piece of hair over my shoulder, and then I just kept twisting down. And that was pretty much it all the way down. Unless I decided to add a second piece to the twist, then at that point I would just add a clip to the twist and then add the body wave hair or water wave hair. I can't remember which was which. I'll have to go back and look at the beginning of the video, but then I just would have that pinned to the side while I would continue to twist my hair, continuing to twist it down.
appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak just my mind. Oh. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, 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 oh,
So here you can see I'm just braiding the next row of my hair and still doing the same process of leaving the bottom pieces of the hair out so that way I can blend them into the twisting hair. That's what it looks like from the back. And then here I am doing the same process as I did on the first one, which is braiding it down, and then when I get to a certain point, adding the water wave hair or body wave hair to the braid, and then continuing to braid with that piece in the braid. And then once I got to a certain point, beginning to twist. So all of the beginning of these twists started off as braids because I felt like the braids were more secure. I'm not sure if I would have been able to have it stay on, but also it was just a skill that I saw other people do. I don't know if there's another method to just keep twisting, although I would say that by the end of the 3 weeks that I had this hairstyle in, though by the end of the 3 weeks that I had the goddess pieces into my twist, they had already mostly fallen out. Only like 5 of them are still in my head, and I tried to do them on almost every twist, and I had at least 50 twists. I honestly can't remember how many I had now. I'm not sure. But I do remember when I got halfway through my head, I had about 30 something left. So it's possible I could have had like 60 in my head. But either way, it was still really lightweight and pretty simple to do. Honestly, it was just the goddess pieces that I would try to do differently the next time because a lot of them slipped out. And if they didn't slip out, I'm not sure what I did differently, if I braided it slightly tighter or what the case was. But it looked cute for a couple of days until they started falling out. That's what I have left right now. I'm trying to figure out if I want to put this in another row or just start doing it from the front. This is how the back looks. I just decided to go ahead and braid my hair the rest of the way through so I could just finish twisting. I'm about to see how many I have left. I have 29, which is basically 30. So I still have half my head to do. But it's because I started making smaller parting at the top so that way I could, you know, flip it whatever way that I want and not just have a middle part. So I also wanted it to look a little neater at the top versus the back. But yeah, time to start the next row.
That's Janice Malloy, pretending to be very complicated. And when, well...
And once I cut that right here, so I'm gonna braid it just a little bit more because I don't want it to be loose. And then I grab this piece of hair. At least this is the method I'm doing now. And I've been clipping the hair all together. All right. And then get that piece out. This is the piece. Then you can like wrap it through. Like I'm kind of putting it into the braid a little, and then I'm gonna have to hold it just while I braid it in. And then because I want to make sure it's really in there, I'm gonna put it through one more time. Shoot, a third time. Then, once it gets to a certain length, this is my real hair, I split it in half. I get some of the pomade and I start to twist. And now I was putting it on my hair so that way it will really blend in with the, I'm not even sure what this is called. Water wave. With the water wave hair. I wanted to call it Marley hair for a second and I know it's not Marley hair. So, and then now I could be like, okay, I want to add another piece. So I just clip that twist just to hold that real quick. And then, I don't know, do I want it this long? I think I'm just gonna cut it. So now this is like a shorter piece. And now down here, I'm going to add the piece I just cut off. So once again, I'm gonna clip it to the other hair. This time I'm going to braid it a little, even though I've been twisting, but this is just to get it locked into place. And then once I've braided it down a little, I can pull this piece out again and twist. Well, it's up to you how you want to hold it. Sometimes I hold it with another clip. Sometimes you just try to avoid it while you're twisting. So, which way was I going? Yep. It's just that I don't, and this is what they don't show you usually, is how annoying it can be to keep these pieces out of the way. So hold on. I just wanted to get down a little further away from it. And it still keeps trying to go in. And I'm just gonna keep pulling it out. And then I still add more of the pomade. I rip off the extra hair at the bottom, grab some more pomade, and just keep going. Jeez. I've always been really bad at keeping it detangled while I braid or twist. So don't pay that part any attention. I would say just try to do better at keeping it detangled while you're twisting it. So you would have to run your fingers through the end every time. That's my problem, is that I don't always run my fingers to the bottom because I want to braid or twist it really fast. But sometimes you gotta separate the pieces so that way it doesn't get so tangled. And here I am, still going. And so once I'm done, I just take off the clips and boom. Now, because of how I did it, I stuck out like a little piece while I had it clipped. So I just cut off the piece that was clipped and leave the piece that's braided in. And this, well, I missed a piece. That's what happens when you can't see. This, I don't even know where the second one went. So this is how it looks. There's at least one of them. And then this is how they're all looking right now. Now keep in mind, this is my first time doing this, so I think I'm doing pretty well for my first try. That was the last
while I'm through
one.
the door. So Gertie walked away a beaten woman, and Percy Pride now walked straight to the wedding chapel into a life of bliss and happiness.
Hi. So this is my hair after 3 weeks. You can see a bit more of my hair started to come out. The goddess pieces, there's only like a couple left in my hair. Um, yeah, most of them fell out within the first couple of days. So I don't know if I just didn't do it tight enough, but I wasn't sweating it since this was my first time doing this hairstyle. And clearly it lasted a really long time. It's been 3 weeks, and I feel like I could still keep going, to be honest. Like it's pretty lightweight. Um, I don't mean that like as a like it's really lightweight. Like I can barely feel it there. And it's been really nice to have nice protective style. I feel like it's easy to keep in. It was faster than box braids. I honestly think I like them more than box braids now. Um, so yeah, this is how they're looking at 3 weeks. Um, like I said, it was my first try, so even with the goddess pieces not staying, I wasn't mad at it. I just wore them as regular passion twists instead of the boho look. So it is what it is. Um, and I've taken a few pictures with this hairstyle, so if you guys want to look at my Instagram and see how it held up, I started wearing it half up, half down these past couple of weeks just because it's starting to get a little fuzzy in the front. But to be honest, I could still wear it out. But yeah, this is how it held up, and I hope this tutorial was helpful. Bye.